The fact is, I'm here. What's the name of that building? But I'll say it differently. The fact is, we're here and they're not.
The president last night destroying all previous known norms and likely the law to accept his party's nomination from the Trump-branded South Lawn of the People's House. It's a lot to talk about, and luckily our friend, the historian, author, presidential historian, Michael Beschloss is with us to do so. His latest volume is Presidents of War. Michael, because we glean so much from your social media, I'm going to start by airing something you posted, a 1968 Nixon campaign ad. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Okay.
It is time for an honest look at the problem of order in the United States. Dissent is a necessary ingredient of change. But in a system of government that provides for peaceful change, there is no cause that justifies resort to violence.
And Michael, of course, you're a step ahead of us here, which is why you posted it. You just modernized those pictures, put in Minneapolis, put in Portland, some Seattle, some Kenosha, maybe have John Voight or Trump himself voice it. You've got a Trump ad. What does that tell us?
Well, that's exactly what we are about to see, I would presume, because Donald Trump is using the George Wallace and Richard Nixon playbook of 1968. And one of the things that Nixon says in that ad is the most basic civil right is freedom from violence. You can expect to hear a lot of that old Nixon, George Wallace language, I think, from Donald Trump this fall. And also you saw there was a sign advocating socialism. How current could that get?
Exactly. You've also posted scenes from the People's House, going back through our American history as far back as photography will allow us, starting with this one, military event during the Civil War with President Lincoln, whose top hat can be seen there. The sheep on the lawn during the 1918 pandemic, or the 1917 pandemic, as the president calls it. FDR being sworn in the middle of the war in 45. Of course, he only lived, 3 more months? And then a photo of his funeral procession that follows. Jackie and young John sledding in 1962. Their father, John F. Kennedy's last public appearance before Dallas in 1963. And, of course, Richard Nixon's takeoff Marine One, 1974, with members of his family and the new president, Gerald R. Ford, looking on. And now we have last night, the gathering on the South Lawn, all but a branded structure. You saw the lit up signs, Trump, Pence. Michael, how do you process it?
It made me sick, because presidents since the founding of the White House, which was, as you know, Brian, 220 years ago this year, have respected the fact that those 18 acres of ground are sacred space. You don't use them for politics. You use them for national events with the president as, largely chief of state, usually unifying the nation. When before have you seen a situation that you saw last night with campaign signs and donors and clapping and other things that made this place into more of a fairground or a convention hall than the South grounds of the White House? What I tried to do with those photographs is to show the history that's on that lawn. That's the history that we and who's ever president should be thinking of, not some local version of the Republican convention.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.